Hmm? So, you done? Yeah, you done. Yeah. All right. So now, matter of fact, we're gonna read the scripture first. Get that Second Samuel's, the 15. 2 Samuel 15. Start at 29, I believe, and then we're gonna read that out.
This is 2 Samuel 15 and 29. Let's see. Okay. Zadok, therefore, and Abiathar carried the ark of the Most High again to Jerusalem. They tarried there. And David went up by the ascent of Mount Olivet and wept as he went up.
Yep.
And had his head covered, and he went barefoot.
He wept as he went up, and he went barefoot. Go ahead.
And all the people that was with him covered every man his head.
And all the people that was with him covered every man his head.
And they went up weeping as they went up.
And they went up weeping as they went up. Now, we're going to read, because what was happening, if you read line upon line, what was happening is Absalom was coming up in the power. You know, he was showing favor to the people, and the people were starting to, lift him up like, oh, he's better. So they had to get out of there. They had to get, you have something? Oh, so they had to get out of there. That's why they had the Ark of the Covenant with them. They was leaving. So if your son coming up in the power, he trying to take you out, he trying to take your position, you're gonna be you ain't gonna be feeling too good. He was mourning. So now we're gonna read this article we found about mourning.
Yeah. And this article is from visualbiblealive.com. All right, and it's going over mourning. I'm going to jump down to the point, but I read the first sentence. Israelites did not embalm or burn the bodies of their dead, as the surrounding cultures did, but they did see a decent burial as being very important for both the dead persons and for the friends left behind.
Yeah, for the friends left behind, because what they did, they had to leave their people because they had to get up out of there because Absalom was coming into power. That's why they were mourning. That's why their heads was covered. That's why his feet, that's why he didn't have no shoes on his feet, which is going to get into. Go ahead.
Just to bring out another point of mourning too, just to bring it out, and I believe it's Esther. Let's see.
Did you have that caught?
Yeah.
Oh, karate got it caught.
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
When Esther seen us mingling with the nations. Ezra. Yeah, Ezra. 9. Yeah. I read it real fluently, just to give another point of mourning. Just to show it, even though it's of the dead and leaving friends behind, there's cases of real sadness when Israelites start doing stupid stuff, basically. Ezra's 9:1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He ripped his garment and he plucked his beard off.
Because it's that sign of mourning. Go ahead. It's just a different angle of the reason why we mourn, Just in case you read another scripture and it wasn't about the dead or something, you try to pull out some.
Play with them words.
Yep, that's what he likes to do. You want to finish reading it?
No.
Okay.
You can go down to the different points.
Okay. Here's a paragraph where the point begins at. Upon hearing of someone's death, it was customary in Old Testament times to tear one's clothes. Genesis 37:34, 2 Samuel 1:11, Job 1:20.
You ain't gotta read them out because we don't put.
Okay. Put on sackcloth and take off one's shoes.
Yeah, and wasn't David barefoot?
Yeah.
David was barefoot because they was mourning. Because upon also mourning for the dead, they also had to leave their people, like it said in the paragraph before.
And headdress.
Mm-hmm.
A man might cover his beard or veil his face. Mourners might dump ashes. Okay?
Done.
But it was, Salakia. It says, mourner might dump dirt on their heads.
Yep.
Or roll themselves in the dust. Or sit on a heap of ashes.
Yeah, dump dirt on their heads. That's why their head was covered. But it's because they was mourning. It's not saying like they, you know what I'm saying? They put dust on their head because they was mourning for their people.
Get that and get that in Esther.
Yeah,
I get that.
You had the Samuels, right?
The same things.
Yeah, you can bring that one out too. Bring that one out first, correct?
Esther's the rest of Esther and Apocrypha, chapter 14, verse 1. Queen Esther also, being in fear of death, resorted unto the Lord, and laid away her glorious apparel, and put on garments of anguish and mourning.
Yeah, because they dressed in sackcloth, like the article said. Go ahead.
And instead of precious ointments, she covered her head with ashes and dung.
Ashes and dung.
And she humbled her body greatly. And all the places of her joy she filled with her torn hair.
Yeah, because that was the time they was trying to take the Israelites out. And her being the queen, but still, it's still her people. So she was mourning for her people, for the, her, who was it ruling? The Babylonians, I believe. No, Persians and the Medes. Yeah, Persians and the Medes. They was trying to take them out of there.
It says, back
Mainly
to
that Edomite.
That's like it.
Yeah, it was the Edomite that got hung on a tree. I just don't, go ahead.
Back to the paragraph. It says, mourners might dump dirt on their heads, which Esther did, and roll themselves in the dust, which she also did, because it didn't say it, but she
had dust on her head.
And said something else. What else she said?
Dung.
She did dung in the
ashes.
Not the ashes.
Covered her head in ashes and dung, and she humbled her body greatly.
Yeah, she humbled her body greatly.
Okay.
It says, but it was against the law to shave their hair and the beard, or to make cuts on the body, because these were some of the ways that pagans mourned. Mourners would not bathe for a period of time and stop using perfumes.
Kind of like tattoos, for the dead and all of that. You ain't supposed to be doing that, of course.
Yeah, which Jake loved to do.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I said instead of precious ointment, she covered her head with the ashes and the dung.
She was a queen. She had the dainty things, smelling good, looking good, and all that. You can get that one.